All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the market forecast. I am Dan Hodgman. It is Friday, October 16th. My countdown, for some reason, just didn't want to work this morning. First off, I apologize for yesterday morning. I don't know what was going on. My computer was totally spazzing out for the first, hour and a half of the day. After that, too, it was overheating and making all sorts of noises, but seems to be back on track here today. And then yesterday afternoon, obviously no recap. I was doing a webinar. But I hope you guys have had a really nice day yesterday. There were some good opportunities. Market started to return. We had some reversals going on. We had some candlesticks patterns really setting up nicely. Speaking of, if you haven't checked out our Back to School series, John and I sit down and talk for over four different subjects. One of them candlestick patterns. So definitely worth checking out. So we've got that going on. Retail sales is better than expected. Pfizer's coming out with possibly a vaccine, or they're going to be filing for some sort of patent after the election on vaccine. So good news there. Maybe we're going to see these stocks take back off. They kind of already have started. Dollar's down a little bit, but that's why we saw that euro up in the overnight and crude oil. What a move yesterday, right? Perfect. V bottom, bottoms out. Rallies right back to settlement price, and today we're going to be settling. Our settlement price was basically unchanged from yesterday. Pretty spectacular after seeing that break. It's hard to argue that one. Almost thought yesterday morning that maybe the break was going to continue with the way things are shaping up, but nope. Weekly kickoff low kind of helped us out there, gave us a little balance, and market rebounded. Anyhow, once again, I do apologize for yesterday morning. Good morning, Charles, Felix. Yes, I as well. Hope everyone's had a great week. Rob, Christopher, Brian, Tanya, James, Mike, and Subconscious. Good morning to all of you guys. As always, thank you for joining us. Talked to John yesterday. John is he's feeling better. Hopefully, before we know it, he is back here with us. Maybe we'll get a surprise me. He'll be here Monday morning. But until then, we're getting through it. I think we're doing all right, and I'm optimistic. I think we're finding some good levels. I think we're finding some good opportunities in these markets, and I'm having a good time. So why don't we go ahead on that note, take a look at these markets, see what we got going on here today. As always, we're starting with the daily and crude. So like we said, yesterday market bounce came right down to weekly kickoff low, which as we remember is 39.50. Market bounced right off of there, went through a couple cents, and then recovered pretty nicely. So we're still very much in balance, very much in range here, not really making any direction. That's telling me sellers were pretty weak here. Maybe this thing could start to pop here today. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Market opened up. Yeah, yesterday we were talking right here. Market opened up and really from there just took off, recovering all the way back, just shy, I think, about a cent to settlement price. But last night we made sure to check that out over at 05. Today's settlement price, 40.96. It's definitely going to be an area of interest if this market starts to recover to the upside. To the downside, couple things to keep an eye on. Point of our value area here, 40. Price we've talked about a couple times this week. Going to keep an eye on this 40-40 if the market rolls over. Point of control yesterday was in a nice area. I'm going to actually bring it a little lower. I'm going to find a little bit more consolidation, which happens to line up with prior points of control settlement prices. 40, we're going to keep it simple here. We're going to go with 40-20. 40-20 could be a pivotal location for some opportunity. And just as a reminder, to the upside, if this thing really decides to bounce off of 40, run through settlement price, settlement again, 96. If we get through there, could we see a new weekly high? 40.29 is weekly high. We'll have to see if we can get above that if this thing starts to resolve to the upside. Next, S&P 500. Still very comfortable. Within weekly kickoff range. Remember, weekly kickoff range is 3,400 up to 3,545. We started to see this market sell off just slightly, and we are not concerned in the slightest. Looking at things here, we started to get a very steep trajectory on our way to the upside. Right now, as we start to get an idea of this trend and the channel, which I like to talk about a lot of times, I'm always looking at channels for myself. When we're looking at these channels that this market's trading in, this market tested the high side, broke off the high side of the channel. If we're in any sort of smaller time frame trading, we're looking at this and saying, oh, great, here's our 3-bar pullback. Great, I can go ahead and hop in this thing. And continuation to the upside trend is moving still higher, and we enjoy seeing that. When we look a little bit closer, settlement price 34.75. Market was finding nice support there last night, has since bounced off of it. We're getting a little bit of a break after checking last night's overnight high. So we checked swing lows, swing highs. Can we break through this 91 price? That's going to be our big question. If we can break through 91, we've got room to the upside, no doubt about it. I'm going to start looking up towards that 3,500. And from there, from 3,500, we got room up to 3,515. 3,515. So going to have to be patient here. We just tested 91. We're kind of coming back right to that 34.86 level, guys. That one ring a bell. We've talked about that a few times this week. We're coming right back to it. We'll see which one is going to be a little stronger, which one's going to overcome here, and we're going to see the directional move because we are working on it. 86 may become supportive and the market may take off, or vice versa. We may break through 86 and return right back to settlement price down at 75.5. So again, Friday morning should be opportunistic, but be ready to shut down as early as possible. Remember, we want to start our vacation, our weekends early. Usually I don't work Fridays and I'm out of here by now. But I am here today. So NASDAQ, just like S&Ps, a little bit of a sell-off. Market still maintaining beautiful trend to the upside. This is our small little breakdown. We broke down a little bit. Buyers have now kind of scooped things back up, pushed this market up a couple hundred points already. And things are looking good. Nothing to fear. Pfizer, again, pretty good news coming out of there, looking for possibility of a vaccine patent or filing for a vaccine come mid-November. That one should be pretty interesting. All right, settlement price here. Settlement price, 11,874 even. So we are now pressing against yesterday's, or I should say Wednesday's settlement price. Wednesday's settlement price over here at 11,974. And a prior value area low. Gonna have a hard time getting through here, but if it does, plenty of room to see this thing start to push higher. If we break through, a couple places to keep an eye on in this market. Well, it's funny. I sat down this morning and I was like, okay, go through some of my levels. And we've hit already a couple of them. I said 75. We're just a few handles short of 75. But if we can start to break through here, guys, we're back into some of those 12,000 levels we were talking about earlier this week. First and foremost, 12,000 being the BFRM we want to keep an eye on. And then from there, there's room. There's not a whole lot that really, I mean, there could be. We could start to hit a wall around 60, 62. But I'm going to kind of bring back that higher level of 12,115. All right, that's our NASDAQ here today. Let's take a look at the gold, which is working its way back towards weekly kickoff low. Again, weekly kickoff low, 1924. Market's still making a decent trend to the upside. Pretty rather large channel that we're trading within, so it's kind of tough to guide this thing. Oops. It's kind of tough to trade within such a large channel here, but we are still maintaining trend to the upside. looks like this market wants to get back up towards weekly kickoff low. We'll see if we can get there. But in the meantime, trying to get up there, what are a couple things we can keep an eye on? First off, settlement price. We just have bounced off it twice. We'll see how many more times this thing can hold before it breaks through. Settlement price 1908.90. 1908.90. If we break through, settle to the downside. Guys, at 1896, it's coming to play a few times, and I think it could be very well within reason here today, especially if equities do get this positive boost. We could really see 1896 come into play. Now, to get through there, again, I said settlement price 1898.90, 1808 or 1908.90. Man, tongue twister there. We have value high yesterday right here at 1906.80. If we can get through there, then we've got some possibility of really rotating this thing lower to that 86 price. Now, settlement price continues to hold. A couple places to keep an eye on. I've been talking about this 1920 level for the last few days, and we've just continuously fallen short of 1920. So we're going to bring it down a little bit, and we're going to give us more of a range, 1918 up to 1920. That'll be that kind of ideal range to start to pay more attention to for myself. If we get through there, remember, weekly kickoff low is not far off at 1924. Right now, though, we are very well within range. We're range trading. Our range is really from this 1915 right down to settlement price, 1908.90. There we go. We got a little bit easier that time. That's the range I'm keeping an eye on for now, and going to wait and see what this market tells me. But right now, we are well within that range, and that's going to be an area worth keeping an eye on. All right, let's look at the euro, which euros has a nice little push here in the overnight session, or London session. It has taken off pretty well. Working our way back towards weekly kickoff low of 117.90. We'll see if we can get there here today. It might be tough. Looking when we get a little closer, let's see what we got that can get in the way. So, weekly kickoff high or low, right up here, 117.90. Pretty far off. We got a lot of value area to get through to get up to there, and that's what I think is going to pose a difficult time. We have come back and checked not Thursday, not Wednesday, but Tuesday's point of control and Monday's settlement price, really to the tick. Market ran right up to it, has now broken down. Just want to see if we've got a change in direction of the dollar. I'm just double checking my chart over here on that. Of course, now that computer's acting funky. There we go. Yeah, dollar's starting to show a little bit of life. Looking at this market, though, right now, guys, what do we see? We see a market that is on a short time frame trending higher, right? We've got a pullback, opportunity to get in. Market trends higher, we get pullback, opportunity to get in. Market trends higher, we get pullback, opportunity to get in. Now we just have to ask ourselves, this is where we as a trader make that decision. This right here is our open, right? This is the open here. Participations should come in a little heavier. Obviously, it is the euro. It does bring in some strong pre-market volume, but we have to ask ourselves, are we going to continue this trend to the upside? If so, we've got a great opportunity on this pullback. If we're going to say, look, I'm finding reversal here. There's a lot to get through. Points of control, settlement price, value areas. There's a lot of meat up here for this market to get through. Again, we've noticed this in the past. Resistance, support, broke through. Is it going to be resistance once again, and we're going to have a hard time getting through there? Then maybe we're thinking otherwise. But this is where we as traders get to make that decision-making process, have that decision-making process. What's my risk? If I'm long, where is my stop? If I'm short, where am I going to be placing my stop within my system and my strategy? So, a couple places to keep an eye on this in this market. 117.22 is a price that I like. A little bit above yesterday's value area. Yesterday's value area very, very tight. So we got 117.22. And then if I go a little higher from there, I like this 117.51. Whoops. Right here. 117.51. Another area I'll be keeping an eye on. But on the rotation, if we rotate lower, for this lower rotation continues, don't forget settlement price, 117.11 half down here, 117.11. All right. That's going to be an area that this market may retract to. But again, Friday, slow, slow, slow. Be patient. All right. And lastly, let's take a look at the yen, which seems to be balancing out here, right? These last couple days, we've really traded nicely, up by 95.20, rotating it lower to 94.89. That price, what we've talked about a few times, really starting to kind of fall into some sort of balance. Whoops. Looking on the 30-minute chart here. All right. So, market kind of hit a little bit of a wall here at 95.07, 95.08. Has rolled over just slightly. We came and checked point of control from yesterday. Does this thing continue lower towards settlement price? Settlement price is 94.89. Funny how that price keeps coming up. If this thing continues lower, if we can continue lower, the next real area that has my attention is this 86 price, 94.86. So that's going to be an area I'm going to keep an eye on. Below that, we do have some areas worth keeping an eye on. 94.81. 94.81, that's a point of control that has not been checked. So definitely a price that could draw quite a bit of attention. Now to the upside, if this thing continues higher, no doubt about it. Whoops, let me look at the right thing here. 95.20. Guys, 95.20 has come into play multiple times. We've seen it. It's opportunistic, so 95.20 could be a directional move. But at this point, I am going to be focusing mostly on yesterday's value area right here at 95.07, right down to 94.93, giving myself that range to look for some opportunity. All right, guys, our markets here today. Let's see. All righty. Got some comments here and questions. Make sure I'll get to all that. Andrea, good morning. John, roll over to Dees. John, most of these products we're in are in Dees. Crude oil is not quite there. Crude oil roll should be coming. I don't think we're just there yet on volume. What's your input of the moving average? What little more information, Max? What kind of moving average? What products? I use mostly an EMA and SMA, and I run those anywhere from a 20, 50, and 100 day. I'll keep an eye on those, and then on a lower time frame, I will be looking at them at 10 session and a 10 period and a 20 period. I keep an eye on those SMAs or moving averages. Oh, Felix, it is. Okay, let me just take a quick glance here, guys. Let me make sure I'm on the right page. I wasn't looking close enough. Usually I wait until the 17th. Within the 17th on a weekend, I just pay closer attention on a Monday. Let me just take a quick glance. I apologize if I missed this one. Getting it pulled up here. All right, thanks, guys. Yeah, definitely floating between the two. You could still. No, I think you are Dees. I think you guys are right, Dees. The spread. Let's see if I can pull up the actual spread. It doesn't want to pop up. All right, so looking at our spread here. 25 cents. Our spread's 25 cents. So prices that I was talking about were in Nove. Let's add 25 cents to those. Settlement price, we should bring that thing up to 41.24. And then we have our spread was 25 cents there. All right, my bad, guys. Thanks for pointing that one out. Yeah, again, usually I'm looking for crude to roll on the 17th, and it's a Friday morning. I was not even thinking about that one here today. All right, cool. All right, guys, on that note, it is Friday, so we have to be cautious, right? If you're up money, your day it's capital preservation day. If you're down money, don't put yourself in a bad position. We did have the town halls last night. Watch them if you're interested. Earnings, most have been coming in already of the big ones. Banks are starting to come in. The only ones, and then we had JB Hunt and Schlumberger. A couple misses, but everything else is doing well. Retail sales, like we said, higher. Pfizer, possible vaccine around the corner. So we'll have to keep an eye on those things. Other than that, guys, I'm going to sign on out of here. I hope you all have a great day. Until then, stay safe, wash your hands, trade well. I look forward to seeing you guys in the markets. Take care, everybody.